We gather under the wisdom of this great tree to hear a tale of a gift that became a burden, and a heart that learned to see in the dark. It is the story of Amara, a girl born with sight beyond her eyes, who saw truths that made the world tremble. It is the story of Zora, a stepmother whose jealousy was a poison that first blinded an eye, and then a kingdom. And it is the story of Prince Stunned, who discovered that the purest love is not seen with the eyes, but felt with the spirit. So, to the young couples building a home, and the families weaving their lives together, let this story be your mirror. Remember, my children, a jealous eye will not only spoil your own soup but will also cast a shadow over the whole family pot. True vision is found not in what the eye demands, but in what the heart understands. Welcome to Echoes from the Baobab Tree, where the timeless spirit of Africa comes alive through the power of storytelling. Subscribe, like, and share this video, and add your voice to our growing family. The fire is burning, the night is young, and the ancestors are whispering. Now, let the story begin. She was born with a gift that brought light to others but darkness to herself. Out of jealousy, her sight was taken, yet even blind, she saw what the world could not. This is the story of Amara, the girl whose heart never lied. The evening sun bled across the red earth of Udoka village. Palm trees swayed lazily, and the sound of pounding mortar echoed through the compounds. Smoke curled from thatched roofs as women sang old songs, their voices blending with the rhythm of the talking drum. In a quiet compound near the stream lived Kofi, a humble farmer, his wife, Ya, and their daughter, Amara, a child who, from birth, carried mystery in her spirit. She was born with a profound calmness, her cries were soft, almost like whispers. The elders said the child's spirit was ancient, that she carried the gaze of the ancestors. From her cradle, Amara could see, not like others did. She saw tomorrows before they came. When she was just 2 years old, she clung to her mother's wrapper one morning and said, "Papa will bring another woman home soon." Ya laughed, shaking her head. "What nonsense! Your father loves me. He would not do such a thing." But 2 months later, it happened. Kofi returned from the market with a new bride, Zora, a woman whose beauty was a mask for the bitterness in her heart. From the moment Zora stepped into the compound, peace vanished like smoke. She smiled at Ya by day and whispered venom by night. "Kofi, you treat that wife like a queen. What of me? Am I not your wife, too?" Her jealousy festered like a wound that refused to heal. When she bore a daughter, Busy, her resentment deepened. She wanted her child to be praised like Amara, but the villagers only spoke of the girl who sees tomorrow. As Amara grew, her gift became both a blessing and a curse. People came from distant villages seeking her visions. She would sit quietly under the iroko tree, her eyes half closed, speaking of things that had not yet happened. Her voice was calm, her words certain, and they always came true. Even the great Seer of the land bowed to her, saying, "The child walks with her spirit before her. Do not harm her, for she is favored by the gods." But envy is a fire that burns the heart that holds it. One moonless night, Zora went to a dark corner of the village, to the hut of a forbidden sorceress feared by all. "I want to dim the eyes of that girl," Zora whispered. "Let her stop seeing tomorrow." The old woman's voice cracked like dry leaves. "The gods watch her. What you sow will find your root." But jealousy had made Zora deaf to warnings. She took a calabash, filled it with the blood of a black hen, and spoke Amara's name 7 times. By morning, Amara's eyes had clouded over, white as mist. She could no longer see the world. Her mother wept day and night. The villagers wailed, calling it an abomination. Yet, in her blindness, Amara smiled. "Mama," she said softly, "I can no longer see faces, but I still see hearts." She still felt the truth around her. Her blindness was only of the eyes, her spirit saw even deeper. It was in that blindness that fate brought love her way. One afternoon, as Amara walked to the stream with her wooden staff, humming softly, a young man on horseback stopped by the road. It was Prince Tund, heir to the throne of Udoka. He watched the blind girl as she walked, gentle, graceful, unafraid. Her song floated through the air like a breeze through the trees, and something stirred in him. Days later, he returned, hoping to hear the song again. And there she was. "Who is there?" she asked softly, turning her head toward the sound of his horse. "It is I, Tund," he replied. "Prince of this land." Then the prince, she smiled faintly, "My heart greets you." From that day, he couldn't stop thinking about her. The prince began to visit often, bringing fruits, beads, and stories. He sat by her mother's hut and listened as Amara spoke about the stars, the river, and dreams. One evening she said, "Prince, a storm is coming to your father's house. But love will calm it if your heart stays pure." He didn't understand her then, but he felt the truth of her words. Soon, love bloomed between them. But news of their secret meetings spread. The king was furious. The queen wept. "How can the heir of Udoka marry a blind girl?" she cried. Zara saw her chance. She went to the palace with lies dripping from her tongue. The king listened, and the war of hearts began. Determined to sever the bond between Amara and the prince, Zara devised a new scheme. She commissioned a beautiful beaded bracelet from a traveling merchant, its colors as vibrant as a parrot's wing. But before presenting it, she took it to the sorceress. "Bind this with a charm," Zara demanded. "Let its wearer be filled with such doubt and confusion that her words become tangled and her spirit seems troubled." The sorceress, for a price, obliged. The next day, as Prince Tund visited, Zara approached them with a false smile. "My dear Amara," she cooed, taking the girl's hand. "I have been wrong. I see now the purity of your heart and the prince's affection. Please, accept this small gift as a token of my repentance." She slipped a cool, beaded bracelet onto Amara's wrist. The moment it touched her skin, a wave of disorientation washed over Amara. She felt a sudden, inexplicable anxiety. When Tund took her hand, his touch, once a comfort, now felt uncertain. "Tund," she said, her voice trembling, I feel a shadow over us. Perhaps your father is right. A prince and a blind girl, it is a story for fools." Tund recoiled as if struck. "Amara, these are not your words. What is wrong?" "I do not know," she whispered, clutching her head. "My thoughts are clouded. I see only failure and ridicule for you." Zara watched from the doorway, a smirk playing on her lips. But she had underestimated the depth of Amara's gift. Amara, fighting through the mental fog, focused on the new, oppressive weight on her wrist. She could not see it, but she could feel the malevolent energy coiled within the beads like a serpent. "Wait," she gasped, pulling her hand from Tund's. "There is a false voice here. It does not come from my heart." With her other hand, she frantically clawed at the bracelet, breaking the string. The beads scattered across the hard earth. Instantly, the cloud lifted. She took a deep, shuddering breath, her clarity returning. "Zara," Amara said, her voice once again calm and certain, though she faced the wrong direction. "You tried to poison my spirit as you poisoned my eyes. But my heart is not so easily blinded. The prince loves me for the truth I carry, not for the eyes I have lost." Tund stared from Amara's resolved face to Zara's horrified one. The truth of the wickedness in his own court was laid bare before him, and his resolve to protect Amara hardened into steel. This confrontation only intensified the village's troubles. The land itself sickened. Crops withered, the river turned bitter, and fear gripped every heart. The great Seer gathered the people. "This evil is not from men. It comes from the land itself. A sin of jealousy was done, and now the earth wants a sacrifice, a pure heart to bring peace again." Everyone knew who the Seer meant. Amara. When Prince Tund heard, he ran to her side, falling to his knees. "No, Amara. I will give up my crown, my kingdom, anything but you." Amara smiled sadly. "Turned, you can give me the world, but some things are not yours to give. The gods gave me this gift for a reason. I was born for this." At dawn, the whole village gathered. Amara walked barefoot to the sacred ground, clad in white, small shells in her hair. She looked like an angel sent from the gods. "Child of vision," the seer asked, "do you give yourself freely to save your people?" Her voice was calm and strong. "I give myself. Let peace return." As the sun rose, a strange wind blew. Amara felt her heart beating fast, but she did not run. "Let the land live," she whispered, and slowly fell to the ground. Her breath grew faint until it stopped. The curse was broken. The river ran clean, the crops grew, and the goats gave birth. The people were saved, but the price was heavy. Princeton was consumed by grief until Amara began visiting his dreams. "Do not waste your life in pain," she whispered. "Live for me. I will show you someone pure who will help you heal." She showed him a girl named Ife, with kind eyes and a peaceful heart. Ton found Ife, and slowly, his heart began to heal. They married, and when Ife gave birth to their first child, Ton named her Amara. "The name of light must never die," he said. Years passed. The village never forgot her. And whenever the moon shone bright and the wind whispered through the trees, people said they could still hear Amara's soft song, a song of peace, love, and the ultimate sacrifice. Kindly like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks.